All right, what is going on, everyone? We are getting into this one a little bit late. Well, I'm here with, well, I guess the best looking guy in the UFC card community at the moment, especially if you're looking at the left of your screen. I'm here with Zach from
Really?
Box Alarm Trading. And if you're wondering, Damien, are you laying in a bed right now or sitting in a bed? It is because I actually am sitting in a bed. I have a terrible setup here at the moment. That's why we are getting this very late. Obviously, this is all on my side too. So Zach's always ready to rock. I've had a few things going on at the moment. I'm laid up in bed, busted knee, waiting on news to see if I need surgery or not. But that's why I'm in this bed here right now. But still
Gotta
getting
heal
this
up.
in, Zach. We talk about it every time. We still need to get these collabs done just for the people so they know too. This one will be a little bit shorter than usual. It would should be just for this time around, I'm hoping. But we will have a live coming up this Saturday, Zach. So
Yes, sir.
the people won't be missing out on much because we'll be going back to back. The live will be on Zach's channel. It'll be our third live together. We will be covering a agree or disagree on that live. This time around for this collab, for this pay-per-view UFC 315, which is also this weekend, we will be skipping the trash hold cell just for this collab time round, and it will be back as normal next time. But Zach, how have you been? Keeping well?
Yeah, man, doing good. Happy to see you healing up from the knee. He's playing through the pain. The fight's not postponed. He's walking in the octagon. He's got the team on his back right now, repping for the Down Under guys. Yeah, man, I'm excited for this weekend. We got a live coming up. It'll be 4 p.m. Central U.S. Damien, do you want to tell him what time it'll be for Australia and the European areas?
Yes. So European will be Paris Central Time. It should be about 11 p.m. But for us, I'm based in Australia now, guys. I'm back in the land down under.
Oh yeah.
We have it. It'll be 7 a.m. Be early for us, but hopefully for those of you who can get up
Get
with
the
a cup of
coffees.
coffee,
Mm-hmm.
can make it and hang out with us this coming Sunday. So that'll be Sunday morning, obviously for Australian time. But yes, you pointed out before. This is definitely my flu game. If we had a if we to give this a title, this is my flu game, this collab. So
Nice.
hopefully it's we'll get through it.
All right,
But
I'm pipping.
we're gonna start off with some viewer questions, Zach. But Zach, before we get to these, we've got 3 questions, mate, and we have even more questions on the live too. We've got so many
Yep.
questions coming through. We love it. But Zach, tell the people what they need to do while I put up this little banner here on the screen.
Yes. In the question or in the comments below, leave a question. We love this. Sometimes whenever you're making these formats, your brain works a specific way. You think about kind of similar topics and stuff. So it's great to get somebody else's thoughts and somebody else's heads. Put them in the comments. Give us a prompt on what you want us to talk about and let us know what you're thinking. Any questions you have, send it in the comments right now.
Thank you, Zach. So the people know what to do. But for this time around, we have, as I said, we have 3 questions. We're going to start off with, we'll start off with Double Jab first. He sent in a question. 2X Jab wants to know, what's the proper way to grade a card with an auto on it? He's seen, many of us who have perused eBay before or other secondary marketplaces, you can see sometimes that when a card is graded, sometimes it'll have 2 grades. It'll have a grade for the card grade itself, and then it is also has a separate grade for the auto. So whether it's a sticker auto, on-card auto, you can get the auto also graded. And then sometimes you won't even have a card grade. You will have just an auto grade. So he's wondering if you find it interesting enough, maybe you can provide an answer on this episode. So what I have had in my experience with both CGC and BGS, normally when you're going through the submission process, at the very start of the submission, you will actually select what service that you are choosing from that card grader. So you will choose a service for card grade only, or you can also choose card and auto grades. And then obviously as a third option, you can just choose something, an auto to be graded or authenticated as well. So you will even see just cards that won't even have an autograph grade. It will just say that the autograph is itself authenticated, meaning that it is signed by the person it is stated to be signed by. So that's what I've seen in my experience. So in summary, you will actually choose what service when you are doing the submission on the website for whatever card grading company you're choosing. You will actually choose whether you want the auto graded along with the card if it is an auto, or if you just want the auto graded as opposed to no card grade. Zach, have you got anything else you need to add to help answer this one?
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest grading guy. I'm kind of very particular on what cards I send in to get graded at all. But when thinking about this, I kind of had a couple different thoughts come to mind. One, we need to, whenever we're doing this, we need to figure out what exactly we want the outcome to be when you're sending cards in to get graded. Are you just trying to get it in a slab? Are you trying to flip and you need high grade? So those are all things, to potentially think about before you send it in. But there's definitely a couple different options that you could go. So the first option that you could potentially do is like if the auto is a very bad quality and streaky, well, then obviously you don't want to grade the auto, right? Maybe you just want to authenticate the auto, get it slabbed up. It'll be encapsulated, and then it'll be authenticated as well. Let's say the auto looks solid, it looks good. Then maybe we think about getting the auto graded. And also if the auto is good as well as the card grade is good, then you could potentially get the card condition graded as well as the auto graded. So in summation, if it's like a bad condition card and a bad condition auto, probably just authenticate. If it is a bad condition card but like a good auto, then maybe you grade the auto. Good condition card, good auto, you might grade both. So those are kind of like three different scenarios that you could potentially have, and three different avenues that you could take when you're talking about like trying to grade autos.
Yeah, that's a great points there, because you've obviously tackled that from a completely different perspective, which I haven't, which I've talked about the actual process of grading and selecting a service, and you've talked about the reasonings why you would grade an auto or maybe not grade an auto. So that was good that you actually covered that from a secondary angle there. We now have two questions. 2X Jab has got 2X questions for this time round.
Sending them in, dude. Send them in.
He wants to know. We talked about this on the last collab on one of the collabs. I think it was a previous collab we had on your channel. We did talk about some of the top prospects that we are looking for in 2025 product, whether not technically for prospecting, but just rookies that we're glad to see get a card in 2025. So Zach, the potential debut rookie card which rookie card are you most excited for Topps 2025?
Yes. Well, for one, I am just very happy that we actually have a pretty good class here in 2025. Like, how it was in 2024. Like, we really had, for at least the first half of the year, like the first 3 or 4 products, we only really had Diego Lopez that was like a true high caliber chase. Once we got MVP and Kayla Harrison, it kind of rounded out a little bit more towards the end there of 2024. But like this year, we legitimately have like 5 guys that I think I would be pretty happy to hit. We have Gene Silva, Rufy, Prates, Peyton Talbot. We got RDR, who made a huge statement, last weekend, and we're going to talk about that in the live coming up. But the guy that I want most, I think that I'm most excited about besides those names, is kind of like your guy Damian, where he hasn't necessarily been like completely confirmed for 2025. So these are, fingers are crossed, eyes are crossed, rabbit's tail, I'm holding it, the horseshoe's over the door, all the luck is coming my way, hopefully, that he's in this. And it's Miktabik Orobai. And I just like him because he seems like an interesting guy, one of the only Kyrgyzstani fighters in the UFC. The ridiculous hat, dude, that you just flashed on the screen. Like, he just looks like a fun guy. He's really young, 27, good, well-rounded skill set. And also, of all the guys that I mentioned before, I still think Miktabik might be a little bit cheaper than everybody else, and probably not. I'm probably wrong in that, because it seems like nowadays every single rookie is just massively priced. But I'm hoping maybe because he's a little bit more under the radar comparatively to those other guys, I might actually be able to get some of his cards for a decent amount.
Yeah, well, we had you don't have the hat here this time around?
I got it. I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you to say it.
Let's give the man his props.
I hit him with the what was Mick the Big doing in that photo? I got to try and recreate it. It's like this, right?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twins, dude. Twins. Me and Mick the Big.
Clearly twins.
What
I
about
don't know
you,
if you
man?
saw this. Did you see this one? We had, as we take Mick the Big down, sorry Mick the Big, but we got big news to talk about. Did you see we had the industry summit leak? This one was floating around the Facebook groups. I believe
Yeah,
it
I was
was
happy
Roger,
to see
that
that.
UFC card guy actually had this one up. I forget which page, but one of the ones. And this Tops have an industry summit every year, for those of you who do not know, and they obviously do little presentations during these conferences. And the UFC, we made it up. We made it up onto the big screen here, and we can see some of the people some of the fighters who will be getting their first rookie card in 2025 product. And we have some of those names who you talked about there. We've got Prates confirmed, Kayasaki. We have RDR there. We have Rufi there, Peyton Talbot, and then of course Gene Silver.
Solid, man. That's a solid,
that is solid
core right there.
You know, I know you're always on top of the product releases in terms of, you know, seeing the fighters on their Instagrams when they're signing and doing things like that. So been seeing a lot of cards getting signed lately, which is exciting. A lot of on card. Obviously, Chrome this year seems to be on card autos where we have stickers autos.
Looks good too, man. I'm telling you, I've seen some Chrome that it's so shiny, man. I think it looks good this year.
Yeah, so Tops have definitely been listening in terms of what collectors want when it comes to on-card autos. So that's great. I myself talked about it last time too. I'm hanging out for a Charles Jourdain for his first year. I can't believe he doesn't have one yet, but hopefully not confirmed yet, as same with your Mick de Bick, but Charles Jourdain, he's come down from featherweight down now into bantamweight. He's got a couple of wins. I'm hoping now he can obviously keep making his way through the rankings, but I just would like 1 year, one card. Give him one. just give him a Chrome rookie card.
Give him something, man. Come on.
Give us something. But yeah, that's who I'm looking out for. Just not from any prospecting, but as I said, just selfishly someone who I would like, a fighter that I would like to have a card of. All right. As we head on down.
Oh, I got a story about Mick de Bick too. So I was actually I was in Vegas for Eric's wedding like a year and some change ago. And you know, you're in Vegas. We can't gamble in Texas. You know, Vegas is all about gambling and slot machines. And there was a fight night on that weekend, and Mick de Bick was fighting Elvis Brenner. And I was like, you know what? I like this dude. So I put $50 on Mick de Bick, and my dude hit. So we're gonna be linked up ever since that. He won me some money, and hopefully I can get some of his cards.
How much did he win? Enough for a Tops hobby box, for a Chrome hobby box?
Man, he was a favorite, but it was like, I think he was like minus 200 or something like that. So it paid out a little bit. I think I ended up getting like 75, $80. Yeah, I could get a mega for that.
Yeah, mega box. No royalty, that's for sure. All right. Thanks to X-Jab. He's always sending through questions, so we do very much appreciate you. But we do have a third and final question. This was another good one. Joe Slang 715. If we got our hands on a box of royalty, which you did get your hands on a box of royalty just a month or so ago, but he's talking about at the original retail price of $3.99. What will we do, Zach, for our trash hold sell segment for this episode? Are we going to rip it? Are we going to flip it? Or are we going to hold on to it for a few years, being that it is a debut product for UFC? What are we doing with our Tops royalty box at the price of $3.99?
Man, at $3.99, like there was a lot of feedback on that video, right? You're an idiot. Why would you buy that? This should be worth $200, like all this stuff. At $3.99, this product would have been very good. Like you probably would have gotten your money back in value, you know, almost, I would say probably like 60% of the time, which is for products is very good. So if you could get one of these at $3.99, I honestly think you could rip it, and that honestly wouldn't be like that crazy of a play. But since I already did one, I definitely am not doing that. And then my initial answer to this was like quickly, I was like, obviously I'm going to flip it. But then I looked at some of the comps, and these comps, Damien, which I'm very surprised at, are still going for like around that 750, 800 mark. And like I thought I thought it was gonna go like this, and then they were gonna come back down. Is this a long-term hold? Like, I kind of think that could be an answer that I wouldn't be that crazy at either, because I really thought that this was gonna go up to like 800, and then after the hype was done, it was gonna come back down. But it doesn't necessarily seem to be like that. I mean, it's been what, a month, maybe a month and some change. So usually around this time, we kind of start to see prices on those boxes. If they are gonna dip, they should be dipping now, and they're not necessarily dipping now. For my situation, if I had this right now, I would just flip it. I take that 400 extra dollars and put that towards the singles that I want, because I do have some cards that I'm eyeing, and I think it's a good time to buy also. So I would do that personally. But yeah, man, I think a long-term hold might not be that bad of a play here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you in terms of the pricing at the moment is still pretty solid. I was obviously just looking on eBay before at some of the sales, and the asking price is fluctuating anywhere from around 750 to 900 at a buy it nows at the moment.
Yeah,
But the actual sale prices, I think the lowest I saw one, which was only the start of this month, was about 688. But then you're
it's pretty
getting you,
high.
but then you've got buy it nows all the way up to 900 as well. So they're more consistently selling anywhere from 750 to about 850. But yeah, you still, as I said, you were still people bidding those boxes at $900, which is absolutely crazy. Whether you're going to hold on to that, I don't know. I think a lot of cards, some of those bigger cards have probably been hit by now, to be honest. So I feel like that's going to hurt that product in terms that it's not anyone's first rookie card. We've got Arman's first auto. We have Ilya's first auto for UFC. So I don't know. I just don't think they're big enough cards to sort of hold long-term value in terms of, okay, people are going to be diving back into those boxes expecting to hit something big. So I
Mhm.
would be more thinking, yeah, and I'm not going to open it. There's no way I'm going to open that box. If especially, we're talking at getting it at a retail price of $3.99 and then seeing that they are selling for around
Yeah,
$800. I mean, I think the smartest play, as you said as well, I think it is to flip it. I would like to think I would do the community a solid while doing myself a solid. I'm putting that out at a buy it now at 650. Someone gets a cheaper box. I make 250, and I take my money and I go and buy a couple of boxes from 2025 product, and try my luck there. Because as I said, I think the biggest point is if you're thinking about long term, things that drive long-term value is the possible hits, right? Like
Mhm.
nobody's going to open a box just for the sake of opening a box, especially when we're talking $900 plus. Like you're better off to
Right.
take your money now and put it somewhere else, whether it's into a single card or into some product from later on in the year. But definitely flipping that one as well. But a very cool question. Are you
I
right?
just to add, I do think the Ilya first auto like could be a card potentially, and let's say 2 years from now, right? Let's say he moves up, he put all this is all just speculation, right? He beats Charles, he beats Olives at 155, or Gaethje, whoever, if they give him somebody before Islam. If he ends up winning against Islam, like that is definitely a card that is going to be extremely extremely sought after. And I think because of it's one of those one pack boxes, right? So like I think that the demand or the supply is getting low at this point because of how quickly breakers are going through that. Like they're going after, but I mean, cases are only 4 per case. So like I do think that the supply on this is a little bit lower than any of the ones that we've seen from 2024, as well as the Ilya first auto. So like while I wouldn't do that, I do think there is like a argument that you could make that maybe in the future these boxes actually do go up in value.
Yeah.
That's a hard
Do we want to spend another 20 minutes on this? Because I just don't see it at all. Because as I said, I
Okay.
think if we're talking 5 years time, what are the chances those Illy cards have already been pulled? And then if we are talking about Ilya, I mean, are we not going to be then going for maybe some of his 2022 Prism or Select? I mean, it doesn't have to be an auto. He has Leaf autos. Obviously, we've seen Leaf autos, and even he's got good winning champion autos.
History would tell us the first licensed auto is the one that people are going to want the most, though. So while I agree that, I mean, there's other plays you could do with him. This is a big card, though. I guess that's my main sentiment is like, if you think Ilya is going to be a stud, this is one of the cards that I think you would plant a flag on.
Yeah, I don't see people spending $900 in 5 years' time for as I said.
What are people it only takes one card. What are people spending for Habib's though? Like 2014. I mean, that's one of the few like mega hits you can get in that. A lot of products have just like one card that people are going after, and they're spending the thousands plus. So like, while I think it's a smaller percentage, I do think it could happen.
All right, I know what we need to do. We need the people in the comments to help decide this one, because me and Zach completely disagree in terms of our answers here, but we are very much interested to see what your people's thoughts are as well.
Just a caveat on that, not a hard stance, but I do think there is a timeline, in the multiverse. There's a thread, there's a timeline that could potentially have this box be, like a sought after box.
Yep. All right, we'll leave it there.
That was a good one.
All right, guys. As I said, we will be doing an agree or disagree as a part of the live that will be this Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning for us Australian people. So we will be missing that one, and then also the trash sell hold. We will be skipping till the next collab as well, as they're keeping this one a little bit shorter given the situation at the moment. But we will now be doing pay-per-view buys.
Pay-per-view buys.
All right, Zach, as we do pay-per-view buys, we are going to start doing the recaps in the lives, but we will do that in the future. We will quickly recap what happened, because we had two fighters going up against each other, UFC 314, which feels like forever ago now. I watched that.
It does feel like a long time ago.
I watched that event live in a pub in Thailand at about 9 a.m. in the morning, which was actually great. It was full of Australians, full of some Kiwi people. But what a fight that we saw between Paddy the Baddy and Michael Chandler. And you had a Paddy the Baddy card, which
yes, sir.
I'm going to throw up here right now.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
It's Disco. Red Disco, Rookie Disco, numbered to 99. Are they these?
Yep, I think so.
Yep. How'd we go?
Dude, you know me, man. I'm a cheater when it comes to this segment, and I did something weird, dude. I did something weird that I don't know if we've done before.
You bought your own card
on the show. And basically, okay, so it's the first round, right? Paddy comes out. And he looks really sharp to me. Like, I think he's crisp. His defense is good. He's throwing like a lot of leg kicks and really switching it up high, low to the body. And, his defense looks improved too. And I'm like, who is this guy? It's a close round. And some people gave it to Chandler. Personally, I thought Paddy won that. But I'm like, man, if this guy continues to look sharp in the second round, I'm pulling this card from the auction and I'm not selling this. Like, it's red on red. I could get it graded with PSA. It might look really good. It's pretty clean. He looked great at the start of round 2, and I pulled it, Damien. I said, I'm going to keep this card. I pulled it off. I think it would have probably sold, but I was like, to me, I was not a Paddy believer at all in his talent. But after watching that fight with Michael Chandler, dude, like, that was a steamroll, and that was a whooping, and he looked sharp on the feet. He looked sharp on the ground. I think he really only got caught like one time that was actually like a decent strike. And when you're talking about a guy like Chandler, like, he's had really, I mean, the top of the heap, he's had really good fights with, and he's tagged Gaethje, he's tagged Poirier, he's tagged Olives. Like, this guy is, at this point, people are probably going to say he's washed and whatnot, but like, that was a great performance by Paddy. So I have the Paddy card, and I'm probably going to grade it in a few months, I'm thinking.
All right, that is a new one.
Cheated.
It took us 24 collabs to get in there and do that, but yeah, I mean, it's your card, so you're allowed to do what you wanted with it. I really thought you were going to come. I was 100% sure you would have sold this card, but I suppose you haven't because you pulled it yourself. But I mean, fair play to you, because that was a very impressive performance from Paddy, and we talked about this, about the the stepping stone that this would be for his career. And we
Mhm.
both wanted him to win because, you know, Chandler's been hanging around there for a while. I myself had a Chandler card. I'm not even going to put it up because that's how terrible his performance was in Chandler's. I think Chandler maybe has some fun fights. You know, he's still, you know, still can win it on any given day. But I mean, he made Paddy look really, really good, and I think Paddy is potentially that good, which is good for him because he could be a massive star within the UFC. As he continues to push forward in that top 5 now. So good for Paddy, good win, and obviously we'll be interested to keep up to date. So did you say you've sent that one away or you haven't yet?
No, I'm going to do a batch here with actually there's a company in the US called GameStop, which used to be a game store. They supplied video games, you know, console stuff like that. I don't know if they have those overseas. But they're doing cards now, and they're doing a service with PSA. So I'm actually going to send it in with GameStop and grade there and see how that process is and see if that, you know, makes more sense.
Yeah, nice. No, I have heard that. I've heard that through other content creators, and I know obviously our good friend Jay Money from UFC Card Fan has done that process himself as well. But mine had no sale. As I said, I didn't expect it to sale given how terrible that performance was. So I think it had okay views. I think it was a PSA 10. It was a rookie. Had 12 views, 2
good looking
watches.
card too.
But as I said, that one can sit up on eBay, but it's not one I would expect to sell at any given stage. Now I think people have, you know, definitely jumped off the Chandler bandwagon. But as we head into UFC 315 this weekend, headlined by your boy, remember the name, Bilal Muhammad. He's your second favorite fighter, isn't he? We've got Leon number 1, and then Bilal close number 2.
Do not put that on me.
But he's coming up against.
I guess I don't hate him as much as everyone else. To me, he's kind of just in the middle. I don't like despise him or anything.
All right, well that's all right. But yeah, he's coming up against the hometown hero in Australia.
Oh
yeah, JDM, which I think he's in a great chance for. I'm actually think this is a pretty stale card, this one, to be completely honest. But the main event I think could be a very exciting one, and obviously we're all pulling for JDM to get the win. But what are you coming at? What are you coming at for 315 for the pay-per-view buys?
I'm coming, you know, with hopefully the and new. I got the 2024 Topps Royalty Jack Della Blue Up 25 auto on card from Topps Royalty. I pulled it out of my box that I got. It's doing pretty well, man. It's got 92 views, 13 watchers. There's been a lot of eyes on it since I posted it. A few people have actually put in pretty decent offers, but it's at $215 right now, $214.99. And like I'm pricing it aggressively. I'm not taking anything above 200 for it because I do think he has a really good chance to win, and he has a really exciting style. And I think he's a guy that if he does win this weekend, I think people are really going to get behind JDM because of his mindset. He grinds people out. He looks for finishes. He's well rounded, and he's very exciting. And he's still relatively young. Like I think this is a really good opportunity for him. Hopefully he can take advantage of it. I don't hate Bilal, but just stylistically, JDM would be so much more fun of a champion.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And obviously it opens 170 up then, and then obviously there's talks too about what Islam's going to do if, you know, JDM's champ. But yeah, I think JDM's in for a good chance. I think it's a good play for you to stay true to what your value is on that card, because I can definitely see that one could get a buy it now. This is the latest product that we have from Tox. These are very nice cards, on card autos. I believe this is JDM's. This isn't his first auto, is it? No,
not a first auto. It maybe no. I think he had one in knockout, so it's not a first on card either.
Okay, not first. Okay, but anyway, regardless, a nice card, and as I said, definitely from the hottest and newest release from Tops that we've had so far. And he's coming up in the main event. Could be first time world champion belt around his waist, hopefully by the end of the weekend. So hopefully you get a sale for that one too.
Thanks, man. What you got?
Myself, what was that? Sorry.
What card you got on this one?
I had to go with a legend. How'd you go with
Oh,
Jose?
that's nice. Oh, a 10 too?
10, man. This one,
Mm,
believe it or not, I've done this a few times now. I've gone on to Beckett Marketplace and just picked up some random serial numbered UFC cards because they're on there for pennies at the dollar. Got this one shipped out to me. This was last year at some point, obviously now, and this one looked very, very clean. And this is a second from Bloodlines insert from the finest 2012 that I've sent away, and it's the second time it's come away with a 10 now. So
seeing
you
a
might be on
pattern.
something there. So if anyone has any of these 2012 finest Bloodlines, whether it's the last one I had was a GSP Gold number 88, and that got a 10.
Nice.
And I took that one all the way to the bank when I actually sold it on eBay. This was another one. This one's up for $109. Buy it now or best offer. Currently sitting at 24 views and 6 watches. This one's been up for a little while though now, but we'll see what happens with Jose. Maybe he gets the win. But I think even if so, I think this one will be one that collectors will want to pick up. These are a very, very nice set from a good release. Obviously, second year of finest back in 2012. These cards look really nice. They have a high shine. This is a blue extra factor, as I said, and it also happens to have got a PSA 10, which a lot of people go crazy for. So,
Yeah. Is this a low pop too? What's the pop on this? I'd imagine there's not too many, especially 10s.
I actually haven't looked at the pop of this, but I should. But I don't think that it is. I think it would be, as you said, I think it'd be quite a low pop, just because a lot of these earlier. I would actually like to see. I mean, one of us has to maybe dig into the archives in terms of. I wonder what the pop reports are. Going on a different tangent now, but you just made me thinking. I wonder what the pop reports are like if we were to go the first 5 years of UFC product. How many total cards have been graded compared to the previous 5 years, if you're with me? Because I guarantee you the previous
Oh,
5
way
years
more.
had probably a lot more. Like a lot of
Yeah.
these older sets, they just haven't been graded so much. A lot of these cards just sit either in raw condition or they're just tucked away somewhere. And but yeah, definitely low pops on these, which is always nice. But as I said, even if this one doesn't sell this weekend, I think this one could find its way to the right collector or the right person, sometime in the future. But until then, it'll happily sit on the eBay because it's a nice card.
Nice,
But
man.
that's what I got for this one time round. That's going to be it. Obviously, as we mentioned at the top of the show, we do have a live this coming Saturday. Once again, it'll be 4 p.m. Over there for Central Time for Zach. It's going to be 7 a.m. for us here in Australia and 11 p.m. for those in Central European Time. Zach, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, I have a little bit better a setup. I don't know what I'm going to do here because I'm stuck in this bedroom on this bed at the moment.
You gotta rest that knee, man.
We're
Keep that
getting
knee
it done. As
up.
I said, this one's definitely my flu game. We'll see how the live goes, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. Hopefully, as many of you can make it as possible. We appreciate your support as we continue to do these together. Thank you again, Zach. Appreciate it, mate. And I'll see you soon. See you very soon indeed.
Yes, sir. See you at the live, man. We'll be talking about Bo Nickal's big loss. We'll look at some of his cards. We'll talk about some products coming up for 2025, some rookie talk, agree or disagree. And we want you guys to be there hanging with us, and participating in the conversation and, giving us good ideas and good feedback, about not only the topics and stuff, but also about, the cards and who you think's going to win. Cause we got a big card coming up this weekend too. So it'll be a fun time. So see you there.
Yeah. As Zach's getting at, I've seen the layout for this coming live, and he has a lot of hot topics that are super relative to what's going on with the UFC right now. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Stay tuned to our socials as well, both Zach's Instagram page and my Instagram page, and we'll have all the details there and links put up for you guys as well to get to those lives. Thanks again, everyone, and we will see you very, very soon.